We got Philly versus Green Bay in Brazil. First of all, they complaining about even going to Brazil. Multiple Eagles is just out here complaining, bro.
Well, I think the only reason why a lot of people don't care to go is because I don't know. I mean, shit. I guess they acting like they ain't got a lot of time to move around or some shit. I don't know.
Man, they ain't going on vacation.
Well, I understand they're not going on vacation. They're going to play a game, but I guess that's why they tripping on it, just because it's like they literally going down there to play a game and they coming right back. I think, I mean, if that's the case, that's why. I mean, if I'm going to be down there in Brazil and it's week 1, shit, let me get down there Tuesday so I can at least walk around for a day or something.
I ain't walking around no third world country, bro. Like, I'm just keeping it a buck. And it seems like it's only been the Eagles I'm hearing complaining. I ain't heard nothing from Green Bay.
I ain't heard nobody ask from Green Bay nothing. We gonna give it a buck.
That's true. So, they play Friday night. First of all, how do you feel about a Friday night game? Is that a little greedy?
I mean, if it was just some, well, let me take that back. Yeah, it is a little greedy. I understand it's week 1, but yeah, it's a little greedy, bro. I don't too much care for it. I mean, because shit, you got to watch it on, and the only reason why I know it's greedy is because it's going to be on Peacock. So there it goes right there. NFL starting to become a little bit too much like the goddamn NBA when it comes to trying to catch some of these goddamn games, man. I'm going to just go ahead and get that out the way. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, niggas, I understand y'all trying to make money and shit, but goddamn, how many more apps a nigga got to get to watch this shit? I mean, yeah, if I get it, I know I'm gonna be able to watch it, but bro, I'm not like I don't use this stuff, bro. Like the Netflix shit. Okay, that's cool, but nigga, I don't own Netflix. I don't own Peacock, and it's not because I can't afford it. I just don't watch shit on there.
Yeah, it should be a centralized package. You think they should do like a centralized package? Like, oh, I want NFL, I'm gonna pay this amount, and I can get just every game. I think they got something like that, but I think that's probably just too high. Something that's more basic. Give me all the basic games.
I tried to do that Sunday ticket was like $300-$400 because I was gonna get it, but I was
like, But see, like, what about like a $80 and you get all of the instead of the streaming apps? How to have the streaming apps? Just let me pay you $80 and give me all the games that's gonna be on all the streaming apps. Like, I don't have to get every single game, but give me all of those games.
I had to pay $80 one time. Hell yeah, I do that.
See, something like that.
But yeah, bro. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still gonna be a little easier to watch them than it because these are still all major apps and stuff like that. Because it's like with the NBA, it's like you got to go through League Pass to catch all them goddamn games. You can't watch them through nowhere. Well, I'll take that back. You got to get League Pass, and then you got to get what's that Valley shit or whatever the fuck that shit is.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they don't show it on League Pass, it's gonna be on that Valley thing. So it's like the NFL is starting to kind of get like that in a sense, even though. You know, Peacock and Netflix and all this stuff they're using is, I guess, more accessible, and I guess it's kind of more worth it because you get all the perks that come with them apps, and it ain't just, you know, NBA or whatever the hell. But I don't know, bro. I mean, I get why they're doing it. It ain't nothing but a money thing, but it is just starting to get a little annoying.
Now to the game, because you got Philly, Green Bay, two teams potentially could meet an NFC Championship game. What's the biggest storyline going into this game that you just kind of looking forward to? It don't got to be a narrative, but something that you actually looking forward to out of this matchup.
Shit, I'm just trying to see Jordan Love keep train going.
That's mine too.
Because everybody's so worried about him. Jalen Hurts is going. That nigga gonna be fine, man. Because they looking at last season, like the last 6 games or whatever. They was like 1-5 or something like that. And he gonna be fine, man. Him and the coaching staff clearly was butting heads. It's been thrown out there. They was butting heads. Jalen trying to do this, then the coach trying to do that, and then the coordinators, they look like they ain't know what they was doing. Personnel wise, them boys fine. They're gonna be just fine. As long as Jalen Hurts there and you got that core between AJ, Devontae, and Saquon locked up like the way you do. And if you go and that general manager that they got in there that's constantly making moves, them boys gonna be just fine. I ain't worried about Green Bay at all. The story here is Philly. I'm sorry. The story here is Jordan Love gonna keep the train going because he just got paid like a top quarterback after one full season. So, I mean, I'm with it. Green Bay looked like they hit on another quarterback, but we just got to see it. I mean, the boy was looking damn good towards the end of the season, and we saw what happened in the playoffs. I mean, when you lose a close game like that to San Fran, I understand there was mistakes you made, but you were a first-year quarterback. And granted, you were sitting behind somebody. This was your first full year playing quarterback. So
are you in or out on Jordan Love? Do you think he's gonna be worth the contract? Oh, okay, you in on?
I'm in. I mean, again, I'm kind of like, okay, y'all done went a little crazy after a year, but I get it. Y'all made the investment when y'all picked him up in the first round, and shit, Aaron gone. So I get it. You got to pay him. I mean,
people thought he was gonna be a bust early on. We ain't gonna forget that either.
Man, people always say that, when it comes to these dudes. They said that about Trey Lance when San Fran picked him up, but that's starting to look like that's true. But I mean, shit. Shout out to Green Bay, man. They found him another one. That's all I can say.
I kind of feel like everybody kind of hyping Green Bay. Me personally, I think they're a good team.
I ain't trying to push them now. Some of these niggas are reaching though. I ain't gonna lie. Some of these niggas that I've been hearing on TV, they getting paid a little too much goddamn money the way that these niggas reaching. I'm sorry. I understand that they made a far push in the playoffs last year, but can we see it again? Like, yes, I know he's talented, but can we see it again before we just automatically try to put them on? Like, we got niggas talking about they gonna make it to the Super Bowl in front of San Fran, man. I'm like, okay, y'all got to pump the brakes a little bit. Can we at least say we got that? I can legit put Green Bay probably my top 10 teams in the NFC. I can honestly do that. But for me, just to automatically put them ahead of San Fran or put them ahead of Detroit, I don't even know if I can. I mean, I can't.
Right now, they 11th in Super Bowl odds.
Yeah, but I can't just confidently say that I can put them ahead of the Rams right now. Not saying that the Rams are better. I'm just saying I can't confidently put them ahead of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that people are doing just a little bit of reaching with this team after one good year. When with Detroit, we seen this gradual build up since Jared Goff got there. San Fran has always been there. So I would just want to see, and then shit on top of that, let's see if they play somebody else other than the Cowboys in the first week of the playoffs. I mean, I'm sorry. I feel I'm sorry, but the Cowboys, they kryptonite is Green Bay and San Fran. And that nigga Aaron Rodgers ain't even there no more, and them niggas still haunting them. So Green Bay just know how to play them boys. That's all that is.
So when it comes to this matchup, who do you think has the edge, like just team for team? If you're just looking at it on paper, do you think Philly it should be Philly?
I think on paper, a lot of people are penciling in Philly because of the Saquon pickup and just because of a lot of those pieces they had on defense personnel wise. I don't think that people are looking too much at Green Bay's defense, but shit, they was tearing Baltimore up in the goddamn training camp. They was tearing their ass up, and I'm talking, the joint practice. I ain't talking about the preseason game where it was the second, third string niggas, and the team's trying to figure out who the hell they're gonna have a job. I'm talking the ones playing against one another was killing Baltimore. So I think their defense is very, very underrated when we talk about just they run stopping and just they secondary with Jair Alexander over there. But they offense is we just waiting to see because everybody on there, as far as we talk about the skill players outside of Josh Jacobs, all them boys is on rookie. I think all them receivers on rookie contracts. You just paid Jordan Love, and we know what Josh Jacobs can do. They just got him from Las Vegas. So I just think, it's one of the things where it's like you got the pieces. You got all those talented receivers. You got the quarterback that you think is going to be there for the next 10 years. You got yourself a running back that the last squad didn't want. So I just think
It sounds like you just got to see it again.
I think with Green Bay, we just got to see it again, especially when you done gave him another piece in Josh Jacobs, because Aaron Jones was good, but I just don't think they were trying to pay him the money he wanted. So what you do, you go get him another top running back in the league. So you making sure this dude got everything he need. So I think everybody just pensioning in Philly just because of the names that we see. We see AJ Brown. We know what he can do. We see the names they got over there, but I ain't underestimating Green Bay against these dudes at all. When you, especially the way that they play San Fran, I just feel like I just feel like they a lot closer to going up than they are going down. I don't see no drop off yet. Again, if I do see something, it's just gonna be little year 2 mistakes from the QB. If I see anything, other than that, I don't think it's gonna be anything where they just dig themselves in the hole.
Okay, so you brought up Jalen Hurts. Do you think he's under a lot of pressure this season? Because
No.
you don't think so? You think he finna?
Man, that nigga, they gonna make it to the playoffs, man. But if them boys lose ugly, they ain't gonna put no pressure on him. They firing the coach.
I've been seeing that. What's up with the coach? Now all of a sudden, what's up with Philly and them all of a sudden getting rid of Super Bowl leading to head coaches? They got Doug Peterson up out of there, and now they trying to get Sirianni up out of there. What is it with the coaches, man?
Man, I just think we in the age where shit, if some of these head coaches ain't getting along with these quarterbacks, they're gonna get that coach the fuck up out of there, man. And again, we heard a whole bunch of stories about how him and Sirianni wasn't like looking eye to eye, and I mean, you gonna blame one or two people. You gonna blame the quarterback, you gonna blame the coach. But when your quarterback done already got that check and took you to a Super Bowl, you know who you're looking at next. So, but again, I mean, I don't put it all on him. They had a whole bunch of personnel changes like that as far as like coaching staff, but it's like, again, they're gonna look at the coach because guess what? You picked them. So it's a lot more pressure on him just because of the way they lost in that playoff game. I think you can forgive that little last stretch at the end of the season, but it's the way they lost that playoff game. I mean, the boys ain't look like they was trying. Tampa Bay, they went into Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay said, "Shit, thank you for this dance. On to the next one, man." Them niggas got Baker Mayfield paid. I'm gonna just leave it like that. That nigga Baker Mayfield ain't even have to do good in the Detroit game. The way that he beat them boys, they got him paid.
Okay. In this game, give me one X factor for the Packers and give me one X factor for the Eagles.
Whew. X factor for the Eagles to me,
outside the quarterbacks.
Yeah. I want to see. I think the X factor for me for the Eagles, I think it's going to be Devontae Smith, because we know that AJ Brown is going to demand the ball, but we also know that Josh Jacobs is going to demand the ball. So again, when you got a big name like that at running back that demands the ball, okay, now I'm the second receiver. So, and Devontae Cole, but it's like, again, I just want to see how's that ball going to be spread out. And I feel like Devontae going to be the X factor in that. Oh, shit, excuse me.
Yeah.
Green Bay.
Which receiver? Okay, I'm gonna switch it up for Green Bay. Which receiver do you think should break out for them? Because I think it got to be one of them receivers, man.
I think we just need to see Christian Watson just have a good game.
That's what I was thinking.
Because hey, that boy right there cold, man. I ain't gonna sit there and cat that nigga right there cold.
I think what we seeing with him is like what we seen with Amon-Ra St. Brown with Detroit. It's like we kind of knew about him and we knew he was good. Then out of where he just bam on one of the top receivers in the league. You think Christian Watson can have that type of explosion, or do you think he's just gonna be a B tier type receiver? Like, where do you see his ceiling? because I was thinking about Christian Watson too.
Christian Watson is interesting, bro, because I think he has because the dude's 6'4", man. So I think he does have the ability to be one of the top dogs in the NFL because he's got the build to do it. I mean, that's a quarterback's friend right there. When you got a big receiver where all you got to do is just throw that motherfucker up and you know they're gonna get it. That's a young quarterback's best friend. I mean, especially when you got one that you're trying to make sure is the man for the job. So I think Christian Watson is definitely going to be the X factor. Can him and Jordan Love keep that going? Can they keep that going and keep that continuity going and keep like, okay, you're my number one receiver. I know that I know when I get into a tough situation, I'm looking for you. And I think this is just that next step of Christian Watson's career because, hey, the way I'm looking at it is like if you have him, break out the way that he's supposed to be, I think you got your core. You got your running back, you got your quarterback, you got your receiver. There's no reason why these dudes shouldn't be competitive. And then Romeo Doubs, he ain't bad. So I think that if Christian Watson is who we expect him to be as a number one receiver, there's no reason why the Green Bay shouldn't be competitive every year.
Okay.
But I was going to say before just talking about receivers, though, I really think that the X factor for Green Bay is just going to be their defense, just because I really feel like they are just so underrated. And I really want to see how they're going to do against the run because, of course, we know what their secondary was, Jair Alexander back there. But I really want to see how they're going to defend that run, especially when you got a team that's known for running the ball in Philly. I want to see that matchup.
Okay. Final predictions for the game. Who you got, Philly or Green Bay?
Man, I wasn't even thinking about who I thought was going to win this game, but and it's at a neutral site too.
Give me Green Bay. I ain't gonna lie. Give me Green Bay because they've been more quiet. Philly been complaining about stuff that you don't think matters. They got some head coach drama, and I honestly think Jordan Love is a better pure passer than Jalen Hurts, and I think they got something to prove. They receiving cores just getting better, so I think they finna break out and they finna beat Philly week 1.
I was gonna take Philly, but I don't see it as just like I don't see it as like no complete blowout or nothing like that. But I'm gonna take Philly. I'm gonna take Philly.